Would the class of 2012 please stand? Ranked first with a GPA of 4.76, Jacob Rasmussen. Jacob is the son of Russell and Angela Rasmussen. Jacob will attend Cornell University and major in hotel administration and Spanish. It is now my pleasure to invite the class of 2012's valedictorian, Jacob Rasmussen, to the podium.
You all have absolutely no idea how many times I started to write this speech and then deleted it after the first 5 minutes. There are literally 13 documents saved on my computer with names ranging from valedictorian, to valedictorian speech, for real this time. And I think that what was hardest about writing this speech was that when you really look at it, it is an incredibly daunting task to inspire an already driven group of people to make the most out of itself, and to give advice about the future that I have not yet lived. There was no way to base this speech on anything concrete, since essentially, there is no more plan written for us. There are no more rules, there are no more guarantees, there's nothing definite left. We have nowhere to be from 7:25 to 2:25. There are no more hall passes, or lunch periods, or crazy spirit days when the school glows orange. All that remains are seconds ticking away. And as much as that sounds terrifying, in reality, it is incredibly empowering. So now we're all faced with this awesome opportunity to create a future for ourselves, to make a name for ourselves, to put Mid-Park High School on the map, to take hold of a piece of history. So how do we do it? I do not have that answer. And quite frankly, anyone that claims to is lying. As I said, there are no more definites. So what I can offer you all this evening are simply my core beliefs. The key to any form of success, I have found, is passion. Passion separates mediocrity from exceptionality. Passion is not something that can be explained. On the contrary, it is something that can only be understood after it has been experienced. So my first message this evening is to figure out what motivates you, what it is that you love, and throw yourself headfirst into it. Practicality, I have found, is overrated. If the one thing that you've wanted to do since you were a little kid is to be a teacher, but now when presented with the facts, worry about the job market, salary, the like, the dream should not die there. In fact, you need to study harder than anyone else, work harder than anyone else, and want it more than anybody else so that you can become untouchably the best candidate for any job. If you are good at what you do, work will find you. Or if your dream is a bit more uncommon, for example, to smuggle people out of North Korea into freedom, because you cannot live in peace while such a crippling injustice exists in the world, then by all means, do it. But what I'm preaching is not reckless abandonment. I'm not saying that if tomorrow morning on a whim you feel like it might be nice to join the circus or backpack through Europe, that you should pack your bags and be gone by noon. What I'm saying is that after understanding any risks that come with the territory, all of the ways that you can fail in a situation, how badly you can be hurt, either emotionally or physically, if you still cannot push the dream from your mind, then you are not supposed to. So you have your passion, but this is not an instant pass to the front of the line. Because while you may have found your passion, there are plenty of passionless, jealous life ruiners out there, just waiting to catch you when you are vulnerable. Something that I feel the high school experience exemplifies is that people are not always going to be nice to you. Whether you are tall or short, or skinny or fat, or gay, or straight, or black, or white. There is always going to be somebody ready to judge you and hate you without you ever having done him or her wrong. These people exist. They exist among us tonight. I bet if I asked you all to think of an individual who had done you wrong, your brain would instantly jump to one name. That brings me to my second point. Right now, I'd like for you to all take a moment to mentally thank that person. Thank them for making you strong. Thank them for showing you exactly who you do not want to be in the future. Thank them for showing you at an early age that people have the capacity to hurt you. A reality check is needed every now and then. There are times when people need to be cut from your life if they're effectively inhibiting your growth. For example, sometimes this person is an old friend whom you've held on to over the years because you felt like you were supposed to. But in reality, you've drifted so far in the opposite directions that you no longer even recognize each other. Or maybe this person could be an overly critical family member who claims to want the best for you, but in all reality just wants to see you buckle to his or her will and live your life by his or her standards rather than your own. To be a passionate young adult and to approach life as intensely as possible leaves no energy to be wasted on forcing unnatural, unnecessary, unloving relationships. To be successful, you cannot allow the past to consume you. So, in this moment, please, make peace with those who have done you wrong and use them as fuel to drive you forward. For example, when my mother went to my very first school conference, my kindergarten teacher said to her, and I quote, "He's not like your other children. If you could just be a little more organized, maybe one day he might have a shot at being an average student." I'd like to think that I took that challenge. I'd like to say tonight to Mrs. Pevick, wherever she may be, that I have succeeded because I could embarrass you. That is the closest I can come to describing passion with words. Passion is not letting little things worry you, but in the back of your mind cataloging them, and not resting until you have done everything in your power to succeed. Passion has to be so much more, though, than telling yourself that you have found what you want to do with the rest of your life. Passion, as I've mentioned, is better demonstrated than discussed. So take action. Seek active change in your life. Life should be an unresting sea. So now you are a passionate, active risk taker with the ability to hold on to important challenges and to let go of those whom you no longer need. So what's left to do? Surely there is more to being successful than a particular mindset. The final key to success, I believe, if you can master the others, is the easiest. Surround yourself with equally passionate, active risk takers. A real-life social network is the most empowering thing that exists in 2012. Stay true to your roots. Do not lose contact with the genuine friends, teachers, coaches, or family members who have helped you thus far, just because there will now be a separation of time and distance. Remember that the little demonstrations of human kindness are sometimes the most important. For example, my Aunt Debbie came to pick me up from school one day when I was sick, because neither of my parents could be reached. As I got into the car, visibly exhausted and ill, my aunt turns to me and said, "Oh, you're actually sick? I thought we were pulling a fast one on that nurse." These are the types of people with whom you need to surround yourself. People who are willing to help you on a moment's notice. People who are willing to bend the rules for you. People who have no issue with inconveniencing themselves to help improve your life, even in a small way. Be sure to thank these people, reciprocate their help, and revel in their pure friendship. Never forget where you come from. However, this does not mean that you already know every important person that you're going to know, or that you've reached some sort of friendship plateau. On the contrary, approach every person you meet as a potential friend, colleague, inspiration, or investor. Never be afraid to be exactly who you are. False appearances only attract false friends. Not to look at specific cases, but you never know when you're going to be at a pool party at a friend's house that you didn't even want to go to, and end up getting to know someone that in the past you'd only ever seen. After chatting on the curb outside of Starbucks in Strongsville, you might decide that it shouldn't be the last time. You can probably call that person your best friend. Everything happens for a reason. As cliched as such a statement may sound, it is undeniably truthful. If you are not constantly genuine and ready to meet new people, you are potentially missing out on a best friend that could walk right by you. You are never going to be able to make everyone happy, but that fact is never an excuse to stop trying. With the full force of a supportive network behind you, you have very few options other than success. My message this evening for the class of 2012 can truly be summed up in 6 words. Stop complaining or start a revolution. Go forth and seek active change in the world. Hold your head high, your standards higher, and nothing will be able to touch you.